in Nigeria's aviation sector, including aviation support service providers, representative of various agencies in Nigeria's aviation sector, airline operators, and other critical stakeholders to chart the course and also to provide solution on the way forward so as to ensure that Nigeria aviation sector continue to achieve upward movements in the rating by ICAO. Once again, your very distinguished personalities, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Aviation, other eminent personalities, I welcome you to this conference. Again, some of our very special invitees are expected to arrive any moment from now, and this would usher in the commencement of this conference. Once again, thank you so much for your patience, and thank you so much for your dedication and loyalty to seeing that Nigeria aviation sector ensure competitiveness and also compared to international aviation standards. Once again, thank you so much, and you're welcome.
Baby, you know say I can't no fit beat papa. And if you happy look on my colo, I go help you carry on go. Telling me something I don't know, you dey make it case you want it popo. If you carry my polo, me I carry it on my handbag. The way you dancing I don't know, the way you dancing I don't know. Follow my lead, make it all right, I see on top my lead. Of course you know I love ya. Of course you know I love ya. You know funny, oh baby, me I know follow what you Sophia. You know funny, oh baby, you know say I can't no fit beat papa. And if you happy look on my colo, I go help you carry on go. Telling me something I don't know, you dey make it case you want it popo. If you carry my polo, me I carry it on my handbag. The way you dancing I don't know, the way you dancing I don't know. Follow my lead, make it all right, I will see you on top my lead. Follow my lead, make it all right, I will see you on top my lead.
Lines operators in the country, major actors in the air transport service value chain, a representative of all aviation-related agencies, and business representative of the international civil aviation and air transport bodies, such as ICAO, IATA, and RC. And this representative, expected here in Port Harcourt this morning, would also be looking at the theme for this conference, International Civil Aviation on Capital, Enhancing Global Prominence and International Competitiveness of Nigeria's Aviation Sector. And also we have technocrats in our midst. We also have the representative of major airlines and manufacturing giants such as Boeing and Airbus. We have executive leadership of the Ministry of Aviation, and some of them will be recognized. We have directors in the different directorates who will be joining us this morning, as well as the representative in the lawmaking sector. We have members of the Senate Committee, hopefully will be joining us, and members of the House of Representatives Committee, on aviation. One of the key features is the panelist session. We'll be having a session where we'll be having technical sessions and we'll be discussing key issues, and we have very, very erudite personalities will be manning these different technical sessions to look at the critical issues affecting the sector, that is Nigeria's aviation sector. Technocrats would also form part of the panel this morning, and they will be providing solutions to the numerous challenges affecting Nigeria's aviation sector. And key stakeholders would also raise issues and resolve some of the challenges affecting us. Of course, we have the keynote speaker who will be delivering keynote speeches on some of the issues here. But more importantly is the fact that this conference is to review the existing laws and legislative provision for achieving adequacy of capital in Nigeria's aviation industry and civil aviation value chain. And also, we expect that at the end of the conference, we would have secured commitment from key stakeholders, government agencies at the national and subnational level, and also private sector participators to invest in improving air transportation service and ensuring excellence to meet international credibilities. Once again, a very distinguished personality, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Aviation, represented by Senator Agadaga Benson Sunday. Well, thank you so much, and permit me to announce the arrival of the guest speaker. And our guest speaker will be speaking on the topic diversification of financing structure for sustainable capital adequacy in civil aviation and air transport, global best practice. It is my great honor to welcome Mr. Oludare Akonde. Mr. Oludare Akonde is the guest speaker and will recognize you. And also, I also like to recognize the presence of another guest speaker who is well seated here. It is also a distinct honor to recognize and welcome the renowned and very erudite financial commentator, Dr. Paul Alaje. Dr. Paul Alaje, you're welcome, sir. Please, shall we put our hands together for Dr. Paul Alaje? You're welcome. Dr. Paul Alaje, we'd like you to come to the front, sir. Thank you so very much, Dr. Paul Alaje. And also, I'd like to recognize a distinguished gentleman who is renowned as an expert in aviation finance and has worked with several international organizations. It is my great pleasure to also recognize and welcome another of our keynote speaker, Mr. Paul Ludik. Mr. Paul Ludik, you're welcome. Please let's put our hands together for Mr. Paul Ludik. Mr. Paul Ludik, kindly come to the front. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you. Thank you. Enhancing global prominence and international competitiveness of Nigeria aviation sector. And this is very, very critical, particularly in ensuring that we develop a template for creating strategic vision plan for the improvement of air transport service and assure excellence and operational safety. We must also, at the end of this conference, achieve a buy-in of critical stakeholders into the new phase of the aviation sector envisioned by the Honorable Minister of Aviation, and this is as well very, very critical. Your very esteemed personality, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, just permit me in another 2 or 3 minutes, we'll be starting this conference. Once I have the signal that we may start, we'll be starting and we'll kickstart every of the activity.
Okay. Yeah.
The Chairman, Senate Committee on Aviation, distinguished Chairman, Senate Committee on Aviation, distinguished Senator Buhari Abdul Fattah, represented by Senator Agadaga Benson Sunday, a member, Senate Committee on Aviation. Permit me to welcome the Director General, who is right seated, the DG of the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority. It is my great pleasure to recognize, and please, I want us to put our hands together to welcome Jolly Papa, Captain Chris Najomo. Please, let's put our hands together to welcome you. DG, sir, you're welcome, sir. Thank you so very much, sir. You're very distinguished personalities. I'm going to ask us to stand on our feet at this moment as we take the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, signaling the commencement of this all-important conference. May we rise on our feet for the national anthem. Thank you so very much. The national anthem. National anthem, please. Shall we take the national anthem? Shall we do the chorus together? Let's go now. 1, 2, 3, go. Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land.
Our own dear native land, though tribes and tongues may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace, oh God, to honor it, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
Thank you. Please, you may have your seats. The Chairman, Senate Committee on Aviation, Honorable Jomo JP, our guest keynote speakers, experts in the aviation led administration to ensure efficiency in Nigeria's aviation space, and also it is also a critical desire to ensure Nigeria continue to gain upward movement in rating by ICAO. Critical stakeholders are here gathered in the River State capital, Port Harcourt, to look at and identify areas of strategic intervention to strengthen airlines and other service providers to enhance operation efficiency and international competitiveness. This conference is coming at a very, very auspicious time with the theme, Enhancing Global Prominence and International Competitiveness of Nigeria Aviation Sector. I welcome you, very distinguished personalities, to Port Harcourt's, the River State capital. My name is Shegun Owolabi, a broadcast journalist, a media trainer, and also an uncle. You're very distinguished personality. Permit me, at this moment, to welcome the representative of the Minister for Aviation in Nigeria, Barrister Festus Keyamo Essien, was represented here by the Director General, Captain Ona Najomo, for his opening speech. Shall we put our hands together for him, please?
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am elated and delighted to be here this morning, and it happens to be that I'm wearing two caps. The Honorable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development called me just last night and said, DG, go and represent me here. I was going to come on my own. I called to welcome you, but I'm just going to read the Honorable Minister's speech. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of River State, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Aviation, Distinguished Senator Buhari Abdul-Tufat, the Chairman, House Committee on Aviation, Honorable Abdullah Idris Garba, the Acting Director General Civil Aviation, standing right here, representatives of sister agencies of the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development here present, representatives of airlines and other air transportation value chain service providers, members of security agencies, representatives of international and domestic civil aviation and air transport bodies here present, captains of industries, esteemed keynote speakers and panelists, gentlemen of the press here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, of course, the last, like we usually say, all other protocols duly observed. It is a great privilege to address this distinguished gathering at the International Civil Aviation Conference here in the beautiful city of Port Harcourt. I extend my deepest gratitude to His Excellency, the Governor of River State, Sir Simi Fubara, for his gracious hospitality and steadfast commitment to fostering aviation development in this geopolitical region. I must equivocally state that under your leadership, River State has continued to be a conveyor of progress and innovation, serving as a crucial gateway for aviation activities in Nigeria. I also wish to commend the Acting General, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Chris Onanajomo, for his tireless efforts in advancing the operational efficiency of Nigeria's aviation sector. Under his leadership, significant progress has been made in addressing the long-standing issues of flight delays and cancellation. Meanwhile, I just want to throw that, meanwhile, the Chairman of the Senate has invited me and the Honorable Minister to come and explain this particular topic of flight delays and cancellation. And of course, I called on the Senate leadership, Chairman of the Senate Committee. I said, oh, most distinguished, when are we coming, sir? He said, you will get a letter soon. The result speaks volumes. For instance, available data reveals that we processed 285,338 aircraft movements across our airports in 2023, underscoring the sector's growing capacity more so. Preliminary analysis of 2024 data indicates a likely increase in overall flight activity, with domestic airlines such as Aero Contractors, Aricare, Ibom Air, Air Peace reporting higher passenger numbers in the first half of the year. It should be noted that this growth is driven by improved regulatory oversight, infrastructures, upgrades, and increased demand for air travel among Nigerians beginning middle class. In other words, the enhanced confidence in aviation services and strategic airline route expansions are positioning the Nigerian aviation sector as a key player in Africa's air transport industry. These achievements reflect not only enhanced coordination and regulatory oversight, but also a renewed commitment to passenger satisfaction and operational excellence. Nevertheless, I am particularly elated that the NCAA organized a timely international civil aviation conference which addressed a crucial theme: enhancing global prominence and international competitiveness of Nigeria's aviation sector. The aviation industry, as an integral pillar of global economic connectivity, facilitates trade, tourism, innovation, and serves as a cornerstone for national development for Nigeria, which is the strategic geographical position, large market size, vibrant economy, and the aviation sector holds immense potential as a driver of growth and a conduit for international engagement. However, realizing this potential requires deliberate strategies to address systematic challenges, strengthen institutional framework, and position Nigeria's aviation sector as a competitive player on the global stage. This brings us to the focus of this conference, with its topical emphasis on capital adequacy and international competitiveness. Capital is the lifeblood of any industry, and aviation is no exception. Adequate funding is pivotal for infrastructure development, fleet expansion, technological innovation, and compliance with international safety standards. While Nigeria has made strides in improving its aviation infrastructure, there remains a significant funding gap that must be bridged to sustain growth and compete effectively for the global stage. In this regard, the Tinubu administration is committed to creating an enabling environment that attracts both domestic and foreign investments into the sector. We are enhancing policy and frameworks to encourage public-private partnerships, that's the PPPs, and leveraging innovative finances, modes such as aviation bonds and concession agreements. These form one of the cardinal principles of my 5-point agenda for the aviation and aerospace sector. We are also strengthening collaborations with international financial institutions, including the African Development Bank, ADB, and the World Bank, to mobilize resources for large-scale projects like airport modernization, all navigation upgrades, and capacity building for aviation personnel. To be competitive globally, Nigeria's aviation sector must embrace operational excellence, technological advancement, and sustainability. Let me outline some key priorities. First, I encourage the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCA, to put front and center a critical role in ensuring safety, security, and efficiency. To this end, we are committed to supporting the NCAA in maintaining compliance with the International Civil Aviation Organization standards while adopting risk-based approaches to regulatory oversight. More so, we are witnesses to the fact that technology is revolutionizing aviation operation worldwide. I urge relevant stakeholders to accelerate the adoption of digital systems in passenger service, air traffic management, and cargo handling. Our vision is to establish smart airports equipped with state-of-the-art facilities, ensuring seamless travel experience for passengers. In fact, Nigeria's position as a regional hub is pivotal to its global prominence. We aim to expand bilateral and multilateral air service agreements, foster partnership with international carriers, and support our domestic airlines to operate competitively on international routes. Most importantly, the aviation industry is as strong as its people. As a result, we're investing in training programs, partnership with global aviation academies, and initiatives to develop the next generation of skilled aviation professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, the transformation of Nigeria's aviation sector cannot be achieved by the government alone. It requires a collective effort of all stakeholders. I call on private sector, investors, industry professionals, and our international partners to join hands with us in building a resilient, competitive, and sustainable aviation ecosystem. To our regulators, operators, and service providers, let us pursue excellence and innovation in all we do. Together, we can elevate Nigeria's aviation industry to a position of global prominence, where it serves not only its gateway to Africa, but also a model of successes on the world stage. Distinguished participants, as we deliberate during this conference, let us be bold in envisioning a future where Nigeria's aviation sector stands as a beacon of progress. Competitors, let our discussion inspire actionable strategies and will shape the course of our industry for generations to come. On behalf of the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, I reaffirm our unwavering commitment to supporting this vision. Together, we'll soar to new heights, transforming challenges to opportunities and ambitions into realities. Thank you, and God bless.
And yes, again, the vision is very, very clear. And the deliverables, expected deliverables, are also well outlined to ensure that Nigeria aviation sector is globally competitive, ensuring safety, security, and efficiency, and also the desire to see improved technological usage and accelerated digital system in Nigeria's aviation sector. Again, that was the speech, the welcome address by the Honorable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Barrister Festus Keyamo SCN, delivered by Captain Chris Onajomo. I think it deserves another wonderful round of applause, please. The Chairman, Senate Committee, by the in Nigeria remain invaluable. And also providing in-depth analysis to issues affecting the aviation sector in Nigeria. It is my great pleasure to welcome Mr. Nuruddin Osage. Please, you're most welcome, sir. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Nuruddin Osage. You're welcome, sir. Thank you so very much. The distinguished Chairman, Senate Committee on Aviation, the Honorable Minister of Aviation, permit me to welcome and recognize the Chairman, House Committee on Aviation, Right Honorable Abdullahi Idris Galba, represented by a member of the House Committee on Aviation. Please, let's welcome Honorable Alison Anderson Igbikis. You're most welcome, sir. Please, let's put our hands together to Honorable Anderson Igbikis. I believe that's the pronunciation. You're welcome, sir. Thank you so very much, sir. Again, Captain Onajomo alluded in his speech a while ago, the desire to see efficiency in Nigeria's aviation sector. And this is a critical desire of His Excellency, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and indeed that of the Minister of Aviation. And this is encapsulated in his 5-point agenda. And this 5-point agenda include optimizing revenue generation for federal government, which also informed the theme of this conference, enhancing global prominence and international competitiveness of Nigerian aviation sector. And by the way of information, the Senate yesterday mandated that all critical stakeholders in the aviation sector be invited to explain the current status in the aviation sector. Again, that shows the proactiveness of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And again, this conference holding today also shows the timeliness of a conference like this, where we have experts and stakeholders in the aviation sector coming together to provide solution and tinker the way forward. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me at this point to welcome the Chairman, Senate Committee on Aviation, distinguished Senator Buhari Abdul Fatai, represented by Senator Agadaga Benson Sunday, for his goodwill message to this conference. Please, let's put our hands together for him, please. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, everybody. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, Sir Similaye Fubara, I hope you are still expecting him or any representative here. Chairman, House Committee on Aviation, ably represented by one of his members of the committee, Honorable Minister of Aviation and Airspace Development, ably represented here, the Acting Director General of Nigerian Aviation and other Civil Aviation Authority, who want to permit me to anchor on the well-established protocol as pronounced by the Minister of Aviation. Distinguished Senator Benson Sunday Agadaga is my name. I represent the good people of Bayelsa East Senatorial District in Bayelsa State. I'm a member of the Committee on Aviation and Airspace Development. My chairman, Buhari Abdul Fatai, has directed me to stand on his behalf today because he had to pursue some other national assignments. He has given me his words, and they are the words I want to deliver right now. I want to, in the first place, appreciate the gathering today, because the issue of aviation and its industry has been of concern to so many of us. All of us, even the operators, are victims of what is happening. And that is why yesterday the issue was raised on our floor. And I didn't know I was coming to represent the chairman. So if there's any crisis, I would have been made to come and face the gauntlet. But I'm happy that we are partners in progress, and we are trying to provide solutions to what is happening to all of us. Because if the chaotic situation is allowed to continue, most especially with the Christmas approaching, it means it will be very uncontrollable. So the conference today is very apt, it's very necessary, and I think it will provide a forum for those in the players in the industry to brainstorm and provide solutions where it requires legislative action. Then it comes to us to also give the necessary support. So I want to thank you for this gathering today. So here comes the address of the chairman. An address delivered by the chairman, Senate Committee on Aviation, Senator Buhari Abdul Fattah, PhD, as special guest at the Port Harcourt International Civil Aviation Conference on capital adequacy and international competitiveness of Nigerian aviation sector. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am greatly honored as a special guest at the Port Harcourt International Civil Aviation Conference on capital adequacy and international competitiveness of Nigerian aviation sector. About 2 months ago, the NCAA gathered the aviation think tanks and stakeholders at Radisson Blu, V/I, Lagos, to discuss the repositioning of the Nigerian aviation industry for financial capacity and economic viability, and inclusive regulatory dialogue. It was a gathering where knowledge, ideas, and perspectives were shared on the progress of aviation industry in Nigeria. I am honored to be here today as the chairman of the Senate Committee on Aviation and to be part of this momentous occasion, the Port Harcourt International Civil Aviation Conference. Now, we gather to discuss a critical aspect of our nation's aviation sector, capital adequacy and international competitiveness. This conference represents a significant milestone in our collective pursuit of a safer, more efficient, and more sustainable aviation industry. As we all know, the aviation sector is a vital component of our national economy, providing a catalyst for economic growth, job creation, and global connectivity. However, we must also recognize that the industry faces numerous challenges, including inadequate funding, infrastructure deficit, and intense global competition. In this context, the theme of this conference, capital adequacy and international competition of the Nigerian aviation sector, couldn't be more apt. In this conference, I believe we would have the opportunity to engage in insightful and prolific dialogue, sharing ideas, experiences, and best practices aimed at expanding innovative funding opportunities, business strategies, and partnership models. The Senate Committee on Aviation is committed to working with all stakeholders to create an enabling environment for the growth and development of the aviation sector. This includes advocating policies and programs that promote capital investment, improve infrastructure, enhance safety and security, and foster international cooperation. On the whole, I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers of this conference for their tireless efforts in bringing the stakeholders together. I also commend the critical experts who have taken time to participate in this important dialogue. It is my suggestion that we should work together to harness the vast potentials of the aviation sector to create a safer, more efficient, and more sustainable industry that benefits our nation and its people. Thank you very much for listening.
And yes, indeed, a big thank you, a goodwill message by the Senate Committee on Innovations, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Innovation, distinguished Senator Buhari Abdul Fattah, represented by Senator Agadaga Benson Sunday. Again, the message is very, very clear and succinct, very clear. Senate has expressed its commitments to working out policies that would ensure improvements in investments in the capital area and also ensuring safety and security for the aviation sector. And the Senate has also committed itself to working with all partners in this sector. And once again, we say thank you to the distinguished Senator Buhari Abdul Fattah, Chairman Senate Committee, represented by Senator Sunday Agadaga Benson. Once again, let's put our hands together for him. Thank you so very much. Your Excellencies, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Developments, Barrister Festus Keyamo, SCN, the Director General, the distinguished Senator, Senate Committee on Aviation, the Chairman, House of Representative Committee on Aviation. Permit me to inform that as part of this gathering this morning, we have critical stakeholders in Nigeria's aviation sector. Under this roof, for this talk shop, we have in our midst airline operators, representative of various agencies in the Nigerian aviation system are all parts of this talk shop this morning. Also in our midst, we have aviation support service providers, aviation security service providers, and airport operators. Representative of civil aviation bodies such as IATA, ACAO, and ASI are also represented here this morning. Agencies under the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development. We also have in our midst relevant officers and also commissioners, both at the sub-national and national level. Captains of industries are well represented, and key staff of Directorate of Finance and Accounts of NCCA are all represented. Again, these are very critical stakeholders that are working together to ensure the efficiency of the Nigeria's aviation sector. And the mandate is very, very clear. And just like the distinguished Senator Benson Agadaga said, it is a desire of federal government to see an aviation sector that is globally competitive and also financially sustainable. And this is one of the solutions we'll be looking at in this conference with the theme Enhancing Global Prominence and International Competitiveness of Nigeria Aviation Sector. Your Excellency, permit me to welcome one of the representatives of the airliners in the country. It is my great pleasure to welcome Engineer Mukhtar Garba. Engineer Mukhtar Garba is from Aero Contractor Airline. Please, let's welcome Engineer Mukhtar Garba. Let's put our hands together. Thank you so very much, Engineer Mukhtar. And you're welcome to Port Harcourt. And also I'd like to recognize also on the entourage of Engineer Mukhtar, Mr. Oyedeji Wakili, I believe that's it, Mr. Oyedeji Wakili, you're welcome. Thank you so very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, permit me, for his goodwill message, pardon that,
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, Sir Dr. Similaye Fubara, His Excellency, the Minister of Aviation and Airspace, highly represented by the Director, permit me to stand on the already existing protocol. My name is Honorable Anderson Harlesini Diggs. I represent the good people of Okrika Ogubolo Federal Constituency. And I'm from Rivers State, a proud German. I'm here to give the goodwill message of my chairman, Committee on Aviation. Right Honorable Abulaye Idris Garba. It is a great thing today that as industries and captains of every concerned people of Nigeria, we know this, we all knew the situation we are in our country about the aviation industry. But it's an opportunity for us to make amends on our activities. I'm very grateful to be part of this conference. Sorry, my colleague, the chairman on Senate Committee on Aviation, I'm so sorry. Yeah. In this with great pleasure and profound appreciation that I extend my greetings on behalf of the House on Aviation to all present and this prestigious Port Harcourt International Civil Aviation Conference on capital adequacies and international competitiveness of the great Nigerian aviation sector, including holding at the Garden City, Port Harcourt City. This conference provides a vital platform for thought leaders, industry, experts, policymakers, and stakeholders to engage in productive discourse. On these pressing issues that affect the future of our civil aviation, not only in Nigeria, but globally. The theme of this conference will focus on capital adequacies and the international competitiveness of Nigerian aviation sector. Could not be more timely or relevant as the world continues to recover from the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. The aviation sector remains one of the most critical pillars for the global economic growth, connectivity, and development for Nigerians in a nation at the heart of Africa. Our aviation sector holds eminent potential to drive economic diversifications, create jobs, and facilitate international trade and tourism. However, to realize this potential, we must address the challenges. surrounding the captain of adequacy, regulators, frameworks, and market competitiveness. As the chairman of this House Committee on Aviation, I want to assure you that we are committed to strengthen policies that will create a more favorable environment for investors in the sector. We recognize the importance of capital infusions, enhanced regulatory frameworks, and strategy partnership to ensure that Nigerian aviation is both competitive and sustainable in a global stage. This conference presents an individual opportunity for us to learn from the international best practices, forge new alliances, and develop actionable strategies that will improve our sector financial resilience and global financial resilience. We can build an aviation sector that not only meets global standards, but also serves as beacon of progress and opportunity for Africans. I would like to commend the NCAA and other organizing partners, speakers, and participants for your dedication to advancing the cause of civil aviation in Nigeria and beyond. I am confident that these insights and recommendations that emerge from the conference will lay in the foundation for a brighter, more prosperous future for the Nigerian aviation sector. In conclusion, I encourage all of you, especially members of the Airline Operators of Nigeria, AON, to engage fully, share your expert and contribution to the discussions with the spirit of collaborations and innovations together. We elevate Nigerian aviation sector to new heights, ensuring it is well equipped to compete on the global stage. Thank you, and I wish all successful, productive conference. Honorable Abdullahi Idris Garba, Chairman, House Committee on Aviation. Thank you, and God bless.
And again, another promise and a pledge of commitment. And this is again the desire of the House of Representatives for this conference. And the desire is, of course, to ensure that insights and recommendations would emerge for this conference that will lay foundation for a brighter, more prosperous future for Nigeria's aviation sector. And again, the desire is to ensure that at the end of this conference, solutions are bettered that would elevate Nigeria's aviation sector to new heights and ensuring it is well equipped and competes on the global stage. And that was the speech of the Chairman House Committee on Aviation, Honorable Abdullahi Idris Garba, delivered by our own son, who was representing us, representing the good people of Okrika Okupolo Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, and also a member of the Aviation Committee in the House of Representatives, Honorable Alison Anderson Ibix. I think that deserves another round of applause. Thank you so very much, Honorable Ibix, for the speech of the Chairman of the House Committee on Aviation. Your Excellencies, the Chairman Senate Committee on Aviation, the Chairman House of Representative Committee on Aviation, the DG, very distinguished and erudite panelists, and our guest speakers, very esteemed stakeholders in the aviation sector. At this juncture, we will take an official photograph. And the official photograph will lead us to tea break. And after the tea break, we'll come back for the technical and panel section. The very esteemed personalities are welcome us to take the photograph and will be led by the DG and the Chairman Senate Committee and also the Chairman House of Representative Committee on Innovation. May I ask that we come to the front? All our guests at the front row on the high table, kindly come to the front for this photograph. And also please, I would also like some of our organizers to also populate this photograph session with very specific guests that would like to be here. Can we have the photograph session populated by some of our representatives? Thank you so much. Can we have representative of other critical stakeholders join? The representative of the airlines, please. Mr. Galba, please kindly join. Representative of airline operators, please, would like for you to join this photograph. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. And more representative of critical stakeholders, please, you may join this photograph. It is important. Thank you so much. Thank you. Your Excellencies, very distinguished personality. We will call for tea break. We'll go for tea break at this moment. And the tea break will last for 20 minutes. We're expected to converge back here in another 20 minutes. And just before we go for tea break, permit me to welcome and recognize the Director, Air Transport Management, FMA and AD, Ejibunu Hassan Tai. You're welcome. Director, Air Transport Management, FMA and AD. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll go for tea break. And we're expected to return to this hall in another 30 minutes. By 11:40, we should be back in this hall. Thank you. 11:40, we'll return to this hall to go to the next section of this conference. Once again, thank you so much. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Of course you know, I love ya. You know funny, oh baby, me I know follow at your Sophia. You know funny, oh baby, you know say I can no fi be papa. And if you happy look cool my colo, I go help you carry your gungo. Telling me something I don't know, you dey make it case you want it popo. If you carry my polo, me I carry it on my handbag. Oh, the way you dancing I don't know, the way you dancing I don't know. Follow my lead, make it to the busiki on the maludo. Make it never disappear. Baby, follow, baby, follow my I love ya. Of course you know, of course you know, of course you know I love ya. You know funny, oh baby, me I know follow at your Sophia. You know funny, oh baby, you know say I can no fi be papa. And if you happy cool in my colo, I go help you carry your gungo. Telling me something I don't know, you didn't make it case you want it, popo. If you carry my polo, me I carry it on in my handbag. Oh, the way you dancing I don't know, the way you dancing I don't know. Follow my lead, make it all that pussyki on top my lead. Make it never disappear. Baby, follow, baby, follow my lead. Make it all that pussyki on top my lead. Of course you know, of course you know, of course you know I love ya. Of course you know, of course you know, of course you know I love ya. You know funny, oh baby, me I know follow at your Sophia. You know funny, oh baby, you know say I can no fi be papa. And if you happy look cool.